Alrighty guys, this is a little in-depth walk around and build breakdown of our 1963 Chevy C60 Viking that is on full air and on a Dodge Cummins chassis. So we have a ton to unpack here. This truck has gotten the works and has, I mean, just about everything you could ever want to a truck done to it, at least in our opinion. So let's start with the frame. It's a 2004 Dodge 3500 chassis. I think it was a crew cab short bed truck. It is a long girl. I can't remember the wheelbase off the top of my head, but she's long, especially for it being a single cab now. But let's dive into our power plant. Don't mind the oil stains. We're having some issues with our vibrant catch can. This is an 04 motor. It's a stock bottom end truck. It does have a Cometic head gasket, 625 ARP head studs, stainless exhaust valves, 110 valve springs. So this truck does 5,000 RPM, no problem. For our fueling, we have our diesel auto power 100% over injectors in here. We do have their second gen exhaust manifold as well. And we are running an 11 mil CP3 injection pump and a full Firepunk engine management harness. For our air side of things, we are running a Smedding 467 turbo with a 9.0 exhaust housing. So a real tight housing, so it does get up on that converter real nice. Speaking of that, it is an automatic truck, but it is a fully built 48RE with a 2600 stall, a Gorn valve body, I think. Nice clutches, nice deals, all the goodies, billet input, billet output. It's a well-built trans. It'll hold up for what we're asking. Intercooler setup, we're running a 6.7 Power Stroke air-to-water intercooler run off of our engine coolant. That is new for us. It's less upkeep. It is efficient. It does work. So there you have it. Stop commenting on the Instagram. You heard it here first. The truck is a full AC and heat truck done by Old Air. They are a local company. We like working with a lot of local companies. Being in Texas, I would like to support them. So if we have the option, we'll go with that company. So Old Air supplied us with their 1960s AC kit, but we have them change a few things to spec it to our custom needs. So we go with a Monster AC condenser up front to make sure that AC is nice and cold, because in Texas, it gets pretty hot and humid. I forgot to mention we are running our fleece coolant bypass because we accidentally did lift the head on this and blow the head gasket out the back end of this thing. So a lot of testing and tuning with it. Stock firewall. We don't like to modify these cabs a whole bunch. There's no need. You can make everything fit just fine. As you can see, this is Eeyore. That's what we've named the truck. This is the third Viking build we've done. All the trucks get a name. This one's Eeyore. So if we walk around, this is original patina. I've gotten some comments saying that we made it fake. This is 100% real, pulled out of a field in Nebraska, just scuffed up with some Scotch-Brite pads and laid on some clear coat done by Poppy's Patina. And this is what you get, perfection. It doesn't get any better than this. I mean, it's smooth to touch. You wipe it down with a microfiber. It's awesome. New glass the whole way around. New felts, new seals, new gaskets, new carpet. I mean, this is an original bench seat, and it's been fully stripped down, reworked, refoamed, so it is very comfortable to sit in. I just took this truck on a 3-hour road trip yesterday, and it was awesome. We like to keep the interiors as original as possible, but give some modern touches. So we have an old school radio in there, but it's full Bluetooth, which brings me to the truck has a full sound system, 2 8-inch subs, ported box, built-in house. It sounds really good. You can also see our dome light kit up there. This is our dome light kit that we designed for these trucks. You have your low setting and your high setting. So if you need to find something around in the cab, you can run it, or if you're cruising down the road, you can have that on. You can actually pick these up on our website, brownbrosgarage.com. They do fit other classic trucks. You'll just have to hit us up for some stuff like that. Here's the original plate off of this truck. We wanted to incorporate it in this build. Nebraska farm truck plate, not for hire. We thought that was super rad, so we wanted to incorporate that into the truck. We've done that on the previous trucks, but see, we have our 2 vents in the center. We have 2 vents off to the side. Basic functions, your fan, you have your defrost, and then through the dash vents, heat, AC. Awesome there. You can see our Bluetooth setup on the radio, volume, skip, stuff like that. Got your wiper switch. Over here you have your 5-position switch for tuning on the fly. Our tuning was done by Firepunk, so shout out to them. They worked with us on getting this truck to spool up and roll down the road good. This is the Domite switch. It's an on-off-on switch. Low, high, center's off. Train horn compressor switch, just in case you don't want to run those, run the battery dead. We do run a hydraulic parking brake for these, so if you're loading up trailers and stuff like that, I like to use the actual calipers to lock the truck in place instead of the factory Dodge drum brakes, which they're no good. That's why we don't use them. Original style classic steering wheel. It's a nice little touch. Window cranks, things like that. Got some original literature up in there. Glove box. I got a bunch of stuff in there. This is one of the first plastic glove box housings done by Old Air. So shout out to them. They supplied us with this because they used one of our other trucks as a template. So you can go on their website and you can pick up one of those glove box housings because they're paper from factory. So that's a nice touch. Let's jump out here. Let's go back to, well, I guess we can talk about our exhaust setup. Full 5-inch the whole way back to some minor cut stacks. It's the classic. We love it. Flatbed. Full custom flatbed. One-off done by Class Pays Fabrication. We designed this up in CAD and he brought it to reality. So it's perfect. I told him, hey, I want a nice slicked up bed. I want high quality. I want to be able to kick the sides of it and not have them flop around like some other people that might make flatbeds as they use some thin gauge steel. This is some high quality stuff. The welds are great. Got some big old boxes that are backlit. Got some lights up in here. So if you're storing anything, trying to pull stuff out at night. Watertight boxes with all the seals, some nice latches. Big box here, box, and then we have our 37-gallon auxiliary tank up top, which actually gravity feeds into a 20-gal fuel cell up under the deck. So when the fuel gauge starts moving, you know you have about 17 gallons left of fuel. So that's awesome. Lots of onboard fuel. We have our dual revolution taillights all the way around. When you put the truck in reverse, they all light up white, which is a super nice feature. Thankful that we got that option. But when we designed this deck, we wanted it to mimic our shop truck deck, but we figured the bed was so long, we tried to find small little ways that we could give the illusion that the bed is not some super long, cabin chassis style bed. So we threw a little dovetail on the back, made the boxes a little bit longer than what our shop trucks is, using the fuel tank to space everything out and making the bottom boxes significantly longer. These wheel wells are perfectly contoured around the wheel and tire setup specifically so that when you laid it out, it would just wrap around that tire perfectly. I'll get into wheels and tires in just a second, but this is where our battery is, our batteries, plural. Again, another lit up box. Can still store stuff in there, but we need those 2 big batteries to power all the compressors and lights that we have on board this truck. So wheel and tire setup, Alcoa 22.5s, but they're not, they're 22s, cut down from factory like that, wrapped in a Venom Power, their Terra Hunter RT series tire. This is a 35 1250, and the fronts are a 35 1550 up front. No, these are not gangster wheels or hipster wheels or whatever you old heads are calling it in the comments. These are Alcoa's 10 lugs off a semi truck. Get educated. That's what it is. Of course, we're running our fast 165 titanium series pump to give this truck all the fuel it needs, and not just the volume of fuel, but clean, uncontaminated, air-free fuel to save all of the money so we don't destroy injection pump or injectors. So that's super rad going on with that. A lot of people get confused on these trucks, but 60 to 63 is where we like to be at. Wraparound windshield with the knee knockers. That's, I think, the most stylish trucks. People might have their opinions on it, but that's where we're at. So I want to talk about our air ride setup a little bit. I mentioned that we were running Level Ride's air management system. So in the cab, I have a valet button, which will take us to our ride and our lift settings. And then you open up the app and that'll give us our air out, low settings, and then you can adjust the individual bags. So we'll take it up to lift. We're a little low on bag pressure, but what we did is we designed our own custom 3-link up front. We made those bars almost 5 foot long, running all the way back to give us some nice travel, because this truck goes from about -3 to positive, I don't know, 16 or something like that. It gets up there real high. These are a tractor trailer semi bag. There's your serial number. Maybe, so stop asking. Just go out, figure it out yourself, because that's what we did. Some Fox shocks with Resis up front. On our steering setup, Class Pace Fab helped me out in designing this whole front end, so we have minimal amount of bump steer. This is a Synergy adjustable track bar. This is our track bar bracket that Scott made for us. Super beefy, sweet little setup, and it allows us to almost eliminate all bump steer with this setup. In the rear, we did a full custom triangulated 4-link. We did an axle truss that is a Dana 80 rear end with a limited slip differential. The bushings and thread search we got for these bars is from a company called Twisted Images. They were a huge help, helping us figure out swaying issues and bushing play and things like that, because we were unable to use heim joints like all the other SEMA trucks and people out there. Heim joints kind of suck. I mean, they do work, but the bars twist, and this truck has level sensors the whole way throughout the truck on all 4 corners, and if that heim joint twists, it'll just break or give your level ride sensors an inaccurate reading. So you can see, of course, we're running horn blasters kit. I remote mounted the horns actually up under the flatbed, and there's a separate compressor and tank there that is separate from the air management system. I have 2 more compressors up under the bed with another tank up there that just controls the bags. So if someone's laying on the horn or anything like that, you're not depleting the air system for the suspension. So that's a little in-depth on the air ride. It took a long time to get all that figured out, but it paid off and it works great. So super happy with that. Just super happy with the whole truck all the way around. I'm sure I'm missing a bunch of stuff or missing some companies that helped us out. I can mention cab mounts. We're in the works of designing a cab mount for all the do-it-yourselfers out there that want something that you can just plug and play, weld up. So you know, stay tuned for that. We're trying to work through something there, but I don't know. Let's go take it for a drive. Put it on tune 3. Yeah, that automatic trans is putting in that work. And much more prefer a manual, but it's whatever. That customer wanted an automatic, so we did the automatic. I can't remember if I mentioned, but it's running an anteater for the transmission controller. So that has been a huge learning curve on trying to figure out how to tune this thing properly, especially running a big turbo, trying to get it to drive like a stock truck. So that has definitely been a challenge there, but this thing really just floats down the road on these bags. It's a huge difference. I think there are some trade-offs to running them, but the cool factor is a huge plus. It's super comfortable. And I think the towing capacity would be great. Granted, big turbo and a really expensive transmission. Do you want to be towing with this all the time? Probably not. Can you? Yeah. But you just have to know how to drive the truck, really. She scoots down the road pretty good. It has developed one squeak though. If you can find where that squeak is, that would help me out. It started yesterday, so we'll have to fix that.
Probably the cab mounts.
Above the speed limit. This is the third Viking build specifically. We've done some Fords and we're in the process of doing some Fords, but for the C60 platform, this is the third one we've done, and we're about to start on the fourth. Is gonna kill me. There's this compressor surging. Down on the highway. And the brakes are amazing. I mean, we did the works on the brakes. They're all factory brakes, but pads and rotors are super nice. Can't remember the brand we went with, but this thing will just stop on a dime for how heavy this truck is. I don't know 100% the weight of this truck. We should definitely go running across the scales at some point before it leaves, but my truck's at 8,700 pounds, low on fuel without me in it. So I'd be interested to see where this one's at. A little bit bigger. Smedding turbo is just going to work. Don't blow your temper, blow your horns. Yeah, so it's been awesome working on this truck, building someone else's dream truck. But we still got a little bit more to do to this truck to get it ready. Cleaning it up, obviously. Probably going to change a little bit on the transmission tune, but this has been about 2 years in the making on this truck. Would have had it done a lot sooner if we didn't decide to switch to an air ride setup halfway through the build, which kind of threw a wrench and everything, and basically made the process take so much longer. But I think it was well worth it in the long run. So I hope you guys enjoyed this little build breakdown on Eeyore, the common rail swapped Viking. But if you have questions, drop them in the comments. We read all the comments, so we'll answer whatever questions you have. So thanks for watching, guys.